Good day to you. You know what? For whatever reason, brings us in contact together. I don't mind. In fact, I'm thankful for that. I'm feeling gratitude for it. You know, I imagine you being here because the principle of change, you know, the law of impermanence has yet to really kick in. You see, anytime I come and I listen to some talks or whatever, I feel as though it falls under a few different kinds of categories. Like, am I looking to be entertained? Am I looking to, like, get something externally to change a feeling within me that I have attached myself to? That I am... It's strange. I'm attached to a feeling that I'm feeling like I want to avoid. There's a polarity. There's a coin you get, and on one side of the coin, it's attachment, and on the other side of the coin, it's aversion. And sometimes the various phenomena out there in the world that you'll encounter, these are the kinds of things that are in the same realm of talk about suffering. You know, for me, it might just be, I'll see a cute girl out there, and I'll be attached to that. I'll be attracted to that. Simultaneously, I'll feel a great aversion. I'll feel a great number of things about that. Anywho, that's besides the point. That's besides the story. I came here to just describe some stuff. Just to get talking. And I suppose I want to talk a little bit about my first-hand experiences. There's a movie out there. I can't quite remember the exact title of it, but it's got that guy that plays in that dodgeball movie. It's the same guy who got his Franken beans stuck in his zipper. Franken beans. That guy. It's the same guy who was in that movie with Owen Wilson where he's walking, they look at each other and they smolder. That guy. And it's like, what is it, Mr. Shmitty? Mr. Shmitty and the Great Adventure? Something like that. Anywho, the plot of the movie is that he works at some big company as a photographer. Not a photographer, as the guy that picks the photo for the monthly magazine. I think he works for Time or something like that. Time magazine. As the guy who picks out whatever the monthly edition cover of the magazine is. And he always gets like the craziest, most epic. There's a legend, there's a myth in the story. There's a legend in the story. And the legend of the rent was way past due. I'm going. And there's a mythical fucking man in there. An epic man. And he's this dude that anytime he sends in a reel of photos, he's got like the magic Midas touch. He takes the most mystical goddamn photos in that whole universe. And Mr. Shmitty gets that reel of photos and he says, hey, check out photo 24. You're gonna fucking love that one. That's like the magnum opus. That is the photo of all photos. The quintessence. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, there's a scene. This is a long fucking roll up for this one part, but who cares? Dude, there's no such thing as 6-minute abs. There's no such thing as a delicious 2-minute marinade, okay? So we're gonna sit through and we're gonna let chemical reactions happen until all that must be processed begins fermenting or whatever. My biggest problem in life is my relationship with time. I don't care whatever I say. In some future moment, what my biggest problems are. The biggest problem in my life is my relationship with time. Like, there are moments in which I'll find myself rushing to do something so I could do the next thing, so I can do a whole bunch of things in a compressed amount of time. And then after that compression of time releases and that spring goes back to its natural state, I will find myself within the infinite span of time. I will find myself within infinity. Where time is no longer the master of my universe and energy can once more reign supreme. How you do anything becomes more important to me. How I do anything becomes more important to me. What my attention is on becomes more important to me. Part of the reason that I say time is, my relationship with time is one of my biggest problems is because I'll fall under the belief of the illusion that I'm running out of time. And you know what? That's just something that it's not a pillow that you can fluff up. It's not clothing that you can iron out. This is the kind of thing that you can't throw in the dryer, all right? You got to let this air dry. It's delicate. You got to let it air dry. You got to put it out in the sun for a little bit. You got to put it up on a clothesline or something like that and just let time uncrinkle itself. Okay, any hand you have in it will inevitably just fuck it up. Perhaps. So, yeah, anyways, in this movie, Mr. Witty, Mr. Shmitty, Mr. Schneebly goes on an adventure. He goes everywhere to find this fucking the negative that was exposed. You know, like the negative of the film that was exposed. He goes everywhere to find this thing. To find the guy who took it. He goes across different countries. You know, he goes to Iceland or something like that. Volcanoes. You know, his life changes and becomes vastly more interesting, filled with way more novel experiences. And all of a sudden, this woman who he was interested in, like, he becomes the goddamn hero that can finally attract the woman that he desired throughout this film or something like that. And it was all because it's like he was living this interesting life, going on an adventure for some obscure, like, side quest. Goddamn side quest. Like, this is like the same, like, kind of equivalent of the movie where Jim Carrey just says yes to everything. Yes. And so after this dude travels across different continents to find the photographer to be like, yo, I need this negative for my fucking job, the quintessence. My job is on the line, man. There's so much hype surrounding this. He finds him on a mountain range, at the top of a mountain, just in the middle of another moment, like in the middle of another moment where he was about to capture, you know, another quintessence, the quintessi, you know, one of the quintessi. Quintessences. And so let me paint this scene out for you. All right, so we've got fucking Fabio out there with his tripod. You know, he's got his Nikon or his Canon, you know, Sony LED, you know, 420 HD, fucking Google Pixel capturing cam. You know, with the zoom lens that you could shoot the craters of the moon from Earth with one of those lenses. And he's there. He's sitting there like a goddamn sniper. He's fucking... He's out there. He's a sharpshooter, just in the moment, just watching from the top of a mountain range, you know, gillying the snow, gillying the stone, watching a snow leopard, just waiting to snap this fucking picture. And Mr. Shmitty goes up and he finds him, and he starts talking to him, and he has this conversation with him, and he you know, he tentatively goes up, quietly goes up, and he's like, "Yo, holy shit, it's you, dude! I gotta talk to you. I've been on a goddamn adventure for months, just looking for you, bro. Holy hell! Here you are, finally, Jesus." And Fabio's like, yes, young Padawan, yes. And so Mr. Shmitty and him are just, you know, kind of just there, you know, hunched over. Mr. Shmitty asks him, he's like, "Yo, when are you going to take this picture, bro?" And what Fabio had said to him in that moment is something that I've been experiencing very recently. And it has been ethereal, majestical, and amazing. And I'm coming back just to tell you about it, I suppose. And just to tell you about it, I guess. Because I felt so inclined to, or whatnot. And for some arrogant reason, okay, you know what? I'm going to drop the whole judgment that I have about it. You know, am I being arrogant about such matters? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just going to say, hey, you know what? If something works for you, go ahead, have at it. If it means nothing to you, just let it pass, okay? If it helps, awesome. Yes. If it doesn't, hey, I'm sorry. You know, because part of me makes these sorts of things to, like, you know, poke you on Facebook and be like, yeah, hey, hey, if you're feeling like this, maybe try this. You know, a lot of things are like reminders for me sometimes. And me just being as I am, you know, I know that sometimes I could be too far gone to be really helped by another person. Gandhi. There's a story about Gandhi or someone like that. They go up to this Gandhi-like figure, and she's like, and it's a mom and her son. She says, "Hey, can you tell my son to stop eating sugar? You know, it's bad for him, and he's getting all big and whoever, and unhealthy and blah blah blah." And Gandhi says, "Come back in a month." Her and her son come back in a month, and then Gandhi says to the son, "Stop eating sugar." And the mom asks him, "Hey, why did you say come back in a month? Why'd you wait to tell him to stop eating sugar?" And then Gandhi said, "Because I had to see if I could do it first." You know, so he had to throw it to the proving grounds. Anyways, so what Fabio had said to Mr. Shmitty in that moment was, if there's a moment that I like, you know, I don't want the camera to get in between. And I mean, like, if I like a moment, like, if I like the moment, me, then I don't want anything getting in between that. And I like that. That's Jaden Smith. You can miss the perfection in it because it's subtle. You know, this kind of phenomena in which Fabio described, you know, this sort of phenomena that I've been feeling. Is a kind of it's the quintessence. I got the vest from, it was a Christmas gift, but I did look it up on Amazon. This one's the 8-pound. Yeah. Just look up weight vest. So, a few things about that, actually. Something that I've been able to, that has been really loud. It's been yelling at me really loud, and it's developed some clarity around it, is the idea that suffering comes from attachment and aversion to things. You attach to something and you like it, and because everything isn't a constant change, everything is in a constant flux. Everything is liquid, kind of in a state of water, you know, and then that water can get cold and turn into a solid, and the rate of change is always different. You know, sometimes things are really slow, and things appear to last longer. Or the rate of change can be really rapid, and it's manic, and it feels chaotic and disorderly because it's like, what the, where the, who the, what? Fast, change. And you might attach to something because you like it. And when it changes, oh no, don't be different. I like that. No, oh no. Damn it. Or the suffering that comes from aversion. You know, something hits you out in the world, probably some kind of energy that, you know, is dripping off of somebody, for, whatever that is out there in the world. Whether it be a cute girl or a hoopty with 5% tinted windows with a subwoofer, and they're blasting trap bass music, and your survival instincts just start ripping. Start walking like a cholo, or like whatever. Or whatever that stimuli is that you feel some sort of need to flee, to avert that, change course of direction. Or just a feeling, a way of life that you don't want to feel. Suffering can come from that as well. What I have been able to see clearly in my experiences and watch that kind of align with various concepts out there on planet Earth, amongst various communities of thought, is that your resistance of things is the kind of suffering. It's not your sadness that brings you the suffering. It's that echolocative rebound. It's that echo. It's that aftermath that it's the ping. It's the lag. It's the mental footnotes of whatever the initial experience is that really do be hurting. Do be hurting folk. It's not your sadness that brings about the pain and the suffering, your embarrassment, your, insert feeling or emotion or sensation here. It's not that. It's not your sense of, I'm feeling dread. It's kind of like it's that you're feeling dread and then that you don't want to feel dread. And your initial jerk away from that, to not feel that way, to not appear as that, to not be that, to not express the dread that really, really pumps that dread. You see, hey, a little life hack for you. That's like a Chinese finger trap, son. The more you try and pull it away, pull out to get out, you're just going to rip it. You're going to break it. You're going to tear it. And it's broken. It's... What? In all effect, it doesn't work. It's a no-go. It's a Chinese finger trap. You got to get closer to it. You got to put your fingers together gently, slowly, carefully, or whatever, thoughtfully, and then ease your way out of it. Same thing, quicksand. Try and get out of quicksand. Slow. You gotta meet quicksand where quicksand's at. Meet reality on reality's terms. So on that note, I'll catch you in the next one. So long.